morning, and how are you doing? Today is an exclusive day. Namagabi, it's the last week of August, and this morning, in a special way, I want to still tell you guys, Banage weather early chilly in the night, temperature benanga close to even 13 degrees Celsius. So make sure you stay warm during the day and also at home. On the business treasure, we have an amazing lady. She's chocolate skin. She looks. Well, she's called Barbara Anyo. Yeah, AANYO, Anyo, Barbie. Oh, we're going to call her Barbie in today's business treasure. She's actually the founder of Lady Umbrella Promotions Limited. Ubampedeza namba inalabyeko Lady Umbrella. Nengamba kyakoli yayitagala kusebenga linnya, but this is a whole business name, and I'm very excited. Kubawo inafe wetuli kosa number 0746405060 okubanga otweyungako. Well, Barbie, good morning.
Good morning.
How does it feel like to be who you are and what you are?
Honestly, if I want to say something, it gets a bit challenging, but it's also exciting because personally, as a creative, it allows me every day to do something different.
Yes.
I'm the kind of person who gets bogged down by routine. So when I get the opportunity to create something different,
Yes.
it allows me to really feel refreshed, but also I get excited when whatever I'm trying to do, something new is like I bring out something new out of it. It gives me the satisfaction to know that I've delivered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for looking very sweet this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
And the most interesting thing is, which part of the country do you come from?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Well, Anyu Barbara is, my father is a Mutoro. My mother is an Itesot, but I was mostly raised by the Itesots.
Okay.
So you're going to see a lot of confusion in terms of my name. So I am called Anyu Barbara Bisanga Atenyi.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Katenye.
Yes. Taboki. But I don't know Lutoro that much. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we'll use Barbie for today.
Yeah.
Barbie, Lady Umbrella. When I got your contact, there was Lady Umbrella.
Yeah.
Where did this inspiration of the name come from?
Lady Umbrella is an inspiration that comes from when I'm an artist. So when I looked at there's a lady. If you go and just plug on any global network, that maybe let's say Google, and then you type in Lady Umbrella, it shows a lady walking with an umbrella, and she seems to be very comfortable,
Wow.
very secure in her own self. And even in those quiet, serene, like it's a street and she's holding a red umbrella. So I looked at that lady and I felt like I want to be an independent woman in as much as I do subscribe. I'm not really someone that doesn't believe
Into those.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to feel secure, considering that I kind of like, I believe in woman empowerment. So seeing Lady Umbrella, for me, I felt like being a creative, I wanted a company that would espouse different types of creativity in terms of, let's say, of course, for instance, we have Lady Umbrella Promotions for the
Yes.
branding items
Yes.
and printing. We have Lady Umbrella Kids for the kids' products.
Okay.
Then we have Pitch Hive, which teaches people how to do, which mentors people in sales and marketing, and all these kind of different things like logo design and stuff like that. So I
Yes.
also teach actually people how to do business and all that. So for me, I feel like it's a brand. Lady Umbrella is a brand, but under it, we should be able to put as many business ideas as possible.
Wow. How much time are we speaking about down the road?
I hope to create a multinational corporation that is going to go to over 7 generations. I have seen such businesses and I believe that it's possible. It's a journey over 1,000 miles, but every day we're working towards it. So I'm looking forward to creating a niche or a brand in the market that is going to live the test of time.
I feel someone really motivated, empowered, very enthusiastic to continue pressing on and what you do.
Yes.
Barbie, why did you choose? Let me call you Lady Umbrella.
Yes.
Lady Umbrella, why did you choose this branding and not any other thing, let's say agriculture or farming?
Oh, by the way, I'm a community psychologist.
Okay.
I'm a graduate of community psychology from Makerere University.
Nice.
But for me, having worked in different sectors, I've worked in all sectors, private, government, NGO world, business enterprises. I've learned that sometimes working for people confines you in the confines of your creativity. It doesn't allow you to explore your inner creative persona.
You need to say that again.
Yes,
Please
it doesn't
say.
allow you to actually explore the purpose, your God-given purpose, or your boss wants you to follow the blueprint of the company, and it doesn't allow you to explore the ideas within. However, I must give the flowers. I've worked with companies like Nice House of Plastics, companies like Jude Color Solutions, and these are people that are pioneers in the brand marketing, FMCGs. Now Jude Color does branding. And having worked there, I realized that there's so many things that I liked about it, but then I wanted to adopt something different in terms of creativity. So I told myself that let me create something in the same line, but figure out a way to tap into my creative persona. So then that's why you find when you come into Lady Umbrella, you see a lot of different products, and we touch on to different categories as well.
Wow. And Lady Umbrella, which item did you start with from the conception?
From conception,
Yes.
Lady Umbrella began with just 2 flasks. It will interest you. 2 flasks. I remember a sister of mine reached out to me and told me there's someone in a group asking about someone to give them gifts. They had been challenged. It was an NSSF project of financial literacy, and the different teams were tasked to create a business model within themselves, among themselves, that is going to help them get money. Then the best performing team can then go further into being supported with other extra funds.
Yes.
So she was in that platform. So she reached out, she's like, Barbara, you like these things, you should try it out. Having worked in these different places, I just went, I told them, you know what, I can do it. I called the lady, and I told her, I can actually try and create for you something unique that you can sell and make money.
Yes.
So I went downtown and I got the 2 flasks. They were called life flasks that populated the Kampala streets.
Yes.
So I got the 2 flasks and I went and tested a different type of branding, not the usual that people were doing. And then after that, 2 flasks became 7 flasks. After that, 15 flasks. And I can tell you, just in NSSF alone, I believe that year I delivered over. It was in a span of 3 years or 2 years, I had delivered like 3,000 flasks. And those 2 flasks fully launched Lady Umbrella, cuts of the NSSF financial literacy project.
Wow.
So every delivery that I would make, like a little profit I would make, I would get a sample on the side and keep in my bedroom. So Lady Umbrella began from the comfort of our bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every sample you kept.
Every delivery I made sure I
extra.
kept an extra piece. So the profit went into creating samples.
Wow.
Because I learned earlier on in the branding business that you need the samples. And you can't just tell someone, I do this. They want to see the work you've done. So every little profit I made sure I would buy an extra blank piece just to keep in my box. So at next time if they call me to deliver, I make sure that I actually go deliver.
You know, and purposes of credibility, I remember seeing some companies like Hima, Cement, you know, the moment someone says, True. But how long back are we speaking about?
This is way back in 2018. Way back in 2018. So this year we're actually making 9 years. And the journey has been incredible. Some of our clients have been people like Yunra. I remember Yunra was one of the first clients we worked with.
Okay.
And AgriVolve. By the time we began bagging clients like Finance Trust Bank, Hima Cement, it was a whole journey.
Wow.
A client like, let's say, Hima Cement didn't just come through as Hima.
Yes.
Hima said the story behind the Hima contract or the Hima relationship began with just a delivery of 1 mug. Or someone calling you and say, I want a mug for a birthday.
Wow.
And we'll deliver that. At the end of that day, that delivery gained us the trust and the credibility we needed to be actually registered in their supplier portal. So business is a journey of small beginnings.
That is really impressive and really mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that. What is it like to get an order? Can you just take us through?
What is it like to get an order? It is first of all visibility and marketing and being attentive to the details, but also the conversations that you have with a client. You must be able to know how to sell.
Yes.
Now, a client can reach out to you on WhatsApp, even in referral, and say, hi, I got your number from so-and-so. I would like, for instance, you remember when you called me? That's my responsibility in the evening to just say, oh, this person reached out.
Yes.
What are they saying?
What do they want?
So in the evening, your work doesn't end at the office hours. You've got to go extended hours after work to just sit back and say, what did I do today? Who reached out to me? What were they saying on WhatsApp? And most times, so when I reached out to you, I was like, this lady reached out. Who is she? So I'm like, hi. I was thinking it's a client. So you really have to have the passion for it.
Wow.
You can't just enter into business and think it's just for survival. At a point in time, you need to have that drive, the passion for the business you're doing to take you forward. So for me, sales and marketing is very key. The passion for it must push you through, an accountability. If you're not accountable to yourself, it's very easy for you to just let go and ignore certain things. Before you know it, it eats you up like, I didn't reach out to this person. Oh, at least you reach out and say, you know what? I'm sorry I was not able to reach out earlier, but how can I be able to serve you? Wow. So for me, the communication lines are directly managed by me because I want to make sure that every client is attended to. Customer experience is very key. I want to make sure that every call is answered, every inquiry is responded to.
And this is what is killing businesses.
Yes.
They talk anyhow.
My kids don't touch my phones. They know it. Whether you're a baby, my kids don't play on my phones because my phones, actually for me, my phone, I remember as a business owner, I had a very funny phone. I would you know those Android sometimes, not to just say that they're not good, but when you're doing business, I learned that the quality of the phone you use is very key. So one of the things that actually improved my business greatly was getting a good phone. I had to invest in an iPhone because I needed the quality pictures, the reliable kind of responses, like everything in terms of that. So I remember 1 point something, and I didn't have the money, but I did it, and I can assure you, I still have that phone, and that phone has made me millions of money. So communication is very key.
You know, I just feel someone that is empowered, someone that doesn't take things lightly, because you mentioned accountability, passion, kola choyagala, because at the end of the day, just some seasons you'll not make money, but one will keep you going, and it goes back to the passion. Let us move on to what could be as a very ugly situation you've ever encountered, and you're like, God, hell no.
An ugly situation I've ever encountered is not very far off, I would guess 2023.
Yeah.
So you know how you begin doing business and things are going on well, and as a business you're beginning to thrive, but sometimes you do these businesses and you don't know your capacity to.
Yes.
Like you don't know when you're going to break even, or you don't know when you're going to get that it order.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're not prepared, your structures are not standing, or you don't even have the ability to actually deliver in terms of finances. So I remember I got this huge contract, the biggest contract we've gotten in the company, and we needed to deliver on a weekly basis.
Oh my God.
And that contract tested me in every fiber of my being.
Jesus.
It tested us so much so that if I was to, but it taught me a lot, but if I was to ever do it again, I would have done it differently. But I wasn't ready for it because we grew very fast, and we're not ready. So sometimes it's also important to look at business from the bigger perspective.
Yes. And
not just think, I'm just delivering my five bottles of smearing oil or whatever you're doing. I'm just delivering my 5 plates of food. You will get an order of 1,000 and you don't have the idea.
How?
And yet you can't just wake up and say, no, I can't. There's a part of you that says, let me go for it. But it will test you. I remember I suffered through chronic anxiety that year. That last year I had to just figure out a way to unwind. And I told myself, you know what? I need to go back to the drawing board because I realized this is bigger than me. So yeah, I've been there. I
like the fact that you had to accept and say, let me go back to the drawing board and choose certain things. But in all that, Babi, how have you been able to put everything in order? Because people lose it in terms of the monitoring and evaluation, the direction where their business is going.
Fortunately, I also did a course in monitoring and evaluation at Makerere University and project planning as well.
Okay.
So, but then for me, I have learned that you can't just, your business is your baby. Like, your business is your baby.
Wow.
Like your business is your baby. You can't just wake up in the morning and think that, oh, let me get employed. You will fight with them, you will struggle with them. If you find me on a normal day sometimes in the streets of this Kampala, you'll be like, do I know this chick? Was she on TV? I go hard, I go dirty, I make my hands dirty. Your business is your baby. You're not going to just sit like a boss. There's no bossing in business. You've got to go down to the ground and be the one who is the most present in your business, especially a startup.
Wow.
So that when it reaches a point in time that the foundation is strong, you can now relax a little bit. But you know, it's the journey of business in Uganda is that by the time you actually set up the systems, you find that it's a little bit like expensive, and it takes a lot to put in the processes and the systems. So personally, I had to resign. I was working in an NGO for a UN agency.
Now that's a bold step.
Yes. I was working in an NGO in the Bidi refugee settlement. I had just signed a second-year contract. I have arrived. Like I was making the money. How it was this NGO, Kamana is nice. The benefits are good.
Yes.
I was saving all my salary literally.
Wow.
Mostly I would spend like 100K of my salary, and I was earning good money, which was supporting the business. But I reached a point in time and I had to decide. It's either I choose to make this work or I let it fall, because you can't balance both. You can't balance both, especially if it's a startup. It has to have the heart of the owner in the business. And I know that is the biggest struggle of an entrepreneur.
Startup, your heart has to be in the business.
Fully.
The
interesting thing that there is fear. When you get into it, we feel like how will I survive? What about my kids? I have 2 kids. What about my this and that, my needs? And it's not easy. But you see, when you put your all in it and you know that this is it for me, you will make it work.
Wow.
If you know that this is what feeds my kids, this is what takes them to school, this is where the food comes from, you will have to make it work.
Wow.
You have to be willing to be uncomfortable in business to make it work. You can't operate in your comfort zone.
You have come to take over the waves. You have come to take over the waves. But, you know, just by the way you speak, tuwulira omuntu ayise mu kintu akitegeera. Sigo bapise information ne bamugamba genda ku business
together, had pressed years.
And you're still going. I love that particular aspect. But where do you see Lady Umbrella going?
Why do I see Lady Umbrella going? I would like to make Lady Umbrella, like I told you, a multinational corporation, a brand name, whereby if someone is looking for, let's say, promotional materials, and they want something unique, something different in the market, then Lady Umbrella is the first place they consider. If someone is saying, I would like to start a business, I don't even know where to start from, they would just reach out to us. Right now, interestingly, we have an apprenticeship business opportunity. It's a CSR.
So to get them, Paula.
So the apprenticeship is like a training opportunity. This year we are training about 50 businesses as a way of giving back to the communities, whereby we're training 50 individuals or 50 businesses to start business. I'm mostly interested in those that are either startups or those who don't have where to start. They don't have an idea. We're giving them a free opportunity to learn how to do business. I'm not saying that we've made it. I'm not saying we are perfect. But there's a lot of errors that I have done in business that I wish someone who was in that domain had warned me earlier that, you know what, don't go this path, go this path. If you want to raise capital, do it this way. This is how you maintain your books. This is how you brand your business. This is how you handle your client. If someone had warned me or had briefed me, if I had gone through mentorship, Lady Umbrella would be further than it is now. So that's why the reason why I'm saying that the opportunity is available for at least 50 businesses.
I like the fact that there is empowerment and not giving money. Kubanga mu Uganda tweyongedde okulaba abantu nga baagala ebya ssente naye tebategeera maanyi ga empowerment, and empowerment is the fuel that keeps something going. And I want to appreciate you for not being selfish. You know, some people say kino kyange nakitandika nze kaabye nayita mu byange byonna and all that. But what mistake do you think most business owners do and don't realize or get it at the end?
There are quite a number of mistakes that business owners make. But like I said, one of them is just operating blindly without a clear goal or vision or idea of where this thing, like without having the end game in mind.
Yes.
It's a very key business mistake that you can make when you don't understand where you could, like what the bigger purpose is, or where the capacity of the business can reach in. Because the challenge with that is that when you get the opportunity to get or serve these big brands and it finds you unprepared, or when you're negotiating some of these deals and you're not well empowered, it leaves you incompetent. It leaves you, it even breaks you as an individual. You begin to feel like, oh, I'm not that person. The imposter syndrome comes in. So I think that's one of if you underestimate the capacity that your business can go into or reach at, you're likely to underperform because you don't know what it's capable of. So it's important to always look at your business value or capacity from the end point of what it could be and operate towards that. Yeah.
Wow, I'm loving. You know, tulikola wali amasowani n'ebikopo nga appetite zaffe zigambe chencha klino kuyingirawo. But you know, we're going to take some questions from the audience and people that are watching us. Bagamba ngamwamba red and black. Mulimu Valentine's. No, we aren't in Valentine's. It's actually a sweet collision, and you can see the vibe on the show today. So use the number 0746405060 okubanga otubuuza ebibuuzo. Nkimanyi mugamba naye guest oyo Luganda alumanyi tugenda kuba kale ekibuuzo ekisookera ddala ekiyingiddewo oli abuuza nti, did you ever face moments where you doubted your capacity to pull this business during the startup stage?
It's not just moments. Did I ever? Till to date, I still get moments where I'm like, I think I should go and get a job. Like you have those moments that will test you, especially when your house is dry or there's no business that is, especially this year, for instance. These first 2 quarters have been a little bit dry. The campaign, people are campaigning, but you never see an order of t-shirts, you never see an order of promotional items. So this year has been, and now with the Trump situation, which led to the slicing of the budget in terms of NGOs, businesses are affected worldwide, but especially in Africa here. So yeah, you will always have those moments where you question everything, and that is very normal. That is very normal. So for me, I have strategies on some of the ways that I do that. I surround myself with people who think like me. For instance, I am part of Business Network International. It's a collaboration, it's a team, it's a group of business owners coming together once a week to discuss business. I had to enter into that because sometimes you want to meet people who think like you. And it's important because you'll have your vision and no one gets it. But I'm telling you, being around fellow business owners, you will get that. And then, I mean, some of these different, I take my social life seriously. So the different things that you've got to do, you've got to be in different umbrellas and different spaces to keep feeding yourself. But for me also personally, I do take care of, I feed myself with information. I follow podcasts, I follow YouTube channels, I follow even on Instagram. I don't waste my data. My data goes into use.
Not mindless scrolling.
By the time I get off Instagram, there has to be something I've benefited from. So I follow the right channels to feed my mind.
What would you demand? Babi. Someone saying, how did you make your employees to carry the same mind that you have for your business?
Employee mindset is a journey, but you've got, for me, I believe in hands-on training. Hands-on training. Even in my business, I don't just sit and talk and tell you do this, do that. I show you how it's done. As simple as how do you wrap a gift box. As simple as what is supposed to be in a gift package. If you're putting in, for instance, a branded mug, a notebook, there has to be a thank you card. Like you have to walk the journey with them. You have to train these people, but they must see you walk the journey, walk the talk. You can't just command and expect that these people are going to do miracles. Even if you got the best employee from which company, you must be a bit, give them time to learn, but teach them, let them see. Hands-on experience is really good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on to the next, we usually want quick movements or quick shifts in business from one place to another. For example, moving from online to having a physical address. How can you be able to be patient in terms of all the business progress that you are making without wanting quick development?
Take on what you can chew. One of the mistakes I made earlier, like I told you, I've made so many mistakes along the way. One of the mistakes we made earlier was that we began we had begun our business well from the comfort of our bedroom. After that, when it reached COVID, we got a space in town on Nkrumah Road, which was paying $350, and we're good. Then we began to see the orders come in. We had just signed Hima as one of our key clients. And then we thought, you know what, this is not the place for our clients.
Yes.
And then we figured, let's get a space. So we got a space, like from rent of 350,000, we went to rent of like 2 million.
Now that is a big mind blow. Almost. How many I think that's like 7 times.
Yeah, that is like 7 times, 7 times more than the actual of what we're spending. So the best case scenario at that point in time should have been for us to get a space of like probably at most 700 or even 1 million, but 700 would have been realistic, or 800.
Yeah.
But then jumping from a 350 room to a room of 2 million plus was a huge shift. In as much as we had signed a really good deal with a client, it left us with a lot of gaps to fill. The pressure was high, and like I told you, some of these contracts, because they are big and you're still learning how to handle, you begin to realize that they are challenging you in ways you can't believe, financially and all this. And before you know it, your company can come crumbling down.
True.
So for us, when we realized that was one of the things that had happened, we had to scale back and say, you know what, we need to go back to the drawing board. And so we got a cheaper room of like 900K later.
Okay.
So
how many months had you spent in the 2 million?
We had spent there like about 2 years.
Oh dear.
So if you look at that money, if you had gotten that 2 million money, meaning all your profits are going into that. So if you had gotten that 2 million money and put it into other things like inventory and all these other processes, it would have benefited us better.
Yes,
so making mistakes is okay, because that's how you learn. It will stretch you, you've got to learn. But one of the key important things I would encourage an entrepreneur is always question your decisions. Don't get comfortable. Question those decisions.
Yes.
And it's okay to say that, man, we've made a mistake here, let's realign. Yeah.
Wow, I like how transparent you really are, because this is exactly what very many people want to hear at the end of the day. Instead of coming on the show and you want to show that everything is just fine, you haven't made mistakes. But just when we take the very, very last question, someone is asking, business owners, we are always diving deep into our businesses 24/7. But how do you balance your social life and business?
How do I balance my social life? I'm a lover of Netflix. But one of the things that I adopted quite early for me is I got comfortable working from home. Okay. So I made sure that the office working area is quite near home, so that I do not have to stretch myself beyond limits. And I'm still able to parent my 2 kids while at the same time also delivering on the work end. But I also, like I told you, being in some of these associations, like I am also part of Rotary, I am part of BNI, I am a believer in Christ, so for me I fellowship with Watoto, and I take my cell seriously. My cell group is like a fellowship that we do every Wednesday, so those are moments I go to just unwind and pray and what. So I try and balance everything. In the early years I did a lot of partying and what, so I'm now in a stage where I like my comfort space. I prefer buying my bottle of wine and I go home and relax from home. I'm not so excited about the noisy places, but once in a while with my girls I do go out there. So that balance is important. And then finding what actually makes you tick. Like I told you, I love watching movies, I love listening to music, and then I've given myself, every day I give myself at least 1 to 2 hours. The kids go to bed, business has closed, that's the time I just go back on my bed or in my room to just say, what is it about today? And I just go there, and in that silence, I don't rush to bed to sleep. I just like the silence that falls in after the chaos.
And very many people.
And that is very important for me. I realize when I do that, it centers me, it calms me down. The next day, I wake up with more vigor to work. Otherwise, if you just rush into bed with all this turmoil, you don't even sleep well. You wake up with a painful neck and all this. The next day, you're rushing into another routine, and you're like, what did I? So for me, it helps me to plan for the next day. So I'm thinking, what do I want to do tomorrow? Who reached out today and I didn't what? How do I do this? Okay, let me call them tomorrow. It's already late. Okay, tomorrow. So it helps. That is my time, 2 hours. And most of that time, I tell my kids, this is not your time now. Please go to bed. And I'm like, is this your time? No, mommy. I'm like, go to bed and allow me my time. I like my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this has been so sweet in a different way, even to the viewers that are watching us. They see that this is different from what we had yesterday or a couple of days ago. Naye Babi, we are drawing to the close of today's show. Newa wechintu chikulu enyo. People fear starting businesses. Bagamba bina gwabitya bina soboka. What would you tell your younger self? Because your younger self are people watching you now 7 years ago, 8 years ago on the business journey.
This is what I like. I usually do some trainings, even on TikTok and all of this. I like telling the young chaps there, you're so busy building another person's dream, and that's okay, because sometimes it's a means to an end.
Yes.
It's a stepping stool to an end. But if anything was to ever happen to you, that one day you are on your border rushing to that work area and something happens to you, you're replaceable. Your boss will advertise your job as quickly as possible. But also, you're not going to, your children will not inherit your job. However brilliant you are in the workplace, your boss is not going to say, few chances of those happen, that, oh, that is Barbara's daughter, let's employ her. You're going to go to the grave with your talents. What you can leave behind for your family, what you can leave behind for your children, is what you create for yourself. Secondly, it does not matter if you don't come from a background of business. It doesn't matter if you don't come from people, don't have people to show you the way. Be the first to start that path. Because along the way, your children will be watching. I used to watch my mother do business. I used to watch my grandmother do business. And as a child, for me, it didn't make sense. But when I look back and someone asks me, why did the journey begin? It started from there. Pass on a legacy or something that your children will build onto. Are you a baker? Bake with them. You just never know. You're building the best baker in this country. But that is something that you're going to pass on to your kids. There's a lot of unemployment right now. You're going to fight in those offices. You're going to fight for those opportunities. Create your own table so that you can invite others to join you on that table. Yeah.
Anag. Watujidde fenna tuchayayana, but you have done this show justice. I must be honest. You have really done it justice. With the things you have shared, these are things that on certain shows we don't really get them, especially here in the Business Treasure. And I want to really commend you so much, Babi Anyo. You're gonna come on the Business Treasure on Promise TV. You know, we have drawn to the end of today's show, and I want to say to our dear audience, thank you so much. Lady Umbrella Promotions Limited tukoze bulungi. Wegafuna namba yekosa namba 0745 okubanga otutukako. And this show has been made possible by Vincent on the camera, the producer of this show, and also that is Queen Hadi in the control room, as well as Gerald M on ushering our guest and also on the sound. See you tomorrow. We'll be back. Coming up is the kindergarten.